again after a little bit of a hiatus. As always, this is Jason's House of Fun and Video Games, bringing you today a Game Room update. Wow, you just put out a Game Room tour not too long ago. You've seen most of it. Most of it's still the same, but there are some things behind me that have changed a little bit. I actually just did this change pretty recently. The reason being, it was time. As many of you have these great collections, great rooms, awesome places for you to just hang out, chill, and not be interrupted by anything. Once the door closes, nostalgia runs through your veins. Just like that. Something weird like that. I'm in a weird mood. What can I say? I'm happy to be back. Happy to bring you some new content. And I'm really happy about doing this. Other part of this video, other than the update, is I want to talk about when you collect so much things, you're into so many rabbit holes, you can't find the one thing you've been looking for. I want to know if you've had that issue before. I had it recently. I've had it twice in the last year. One time is still mystery unsolved. The other one, we figured it out. We're going to get to that other part, which is in a completely different part of my house. But I finally solved a problem that I've had for a long time, where I didn't have a place to properly display my movies, which you've seen with the Game Room tour before of 2025, where I finally have my box sets, which are now a complete disaster because I'm now currently rewatching Sons of Anarchy. I have the complete series. It's an amazing set. I've actually gone over it in greater detail in one of the rabbit hole videos that I have. Down the Rabbit Hole We Go, I think it was called. Can't really remember right now, but nevertheless, lots of things to throw at you. But the main reason why we're here is for the update. We'll get to a few other things later. And then, of course, the other thing I'm super proud of, along with the story that goes with it. So, let's get to it. Good to see you all back again. Now, I'm going to do a quick glimpse into a few changes. Not huge changes, but changes nevertheless. The big one's right behind me. And it took 2 days, which typically it will take 1 day for me to do most of these changes other than redoing a whole room. I just hit the 3 a.m. mark. I had to go to sleep, man. It was rough. But nevertheless, we got it done. So the changes up here, and I'll just give you a quick glimpse of everything around. That's different, right? Yeah, that's coming soon. We'll get to it, don't worry. Just a little glimpse around in case it's your first time on the channel. I got that whole giant rat's nest of mess right there. Here we go up here. Before I had the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie editions, the re-releases, I've now brought it back to the original line, which isn't the original line. It's the reproductions from 2020. But I just felt it was time, move some stuff around, and actually made it so I could get an extra 2 figures on there, which is awesome. This right here is one of the big parts of my childhood. Like, I don't even know what begins in words when I hear that song come on, or I see a thing on the internet or social media or whatever the hell you do these days, where this song comes on and it absolutely hits me hard. Why is that? Because it was a different time. Oh, by the way, that guy is extremely hard to find. I don't know why. Out of all these here, Toker and Razor, of course, from the movie line, the Foot Soldier is a giant pain in the ass to find. I don't know why, but he was. I did that, and this is the reason why I like these shelves. Before, I would have everything all over the walls. You'll see in other Game Room tours that I have of other places I've lived. Like, I've got a much bigger space, and I think this makes it a little better. More, what's the word? It's not better. Makes me want to change things more often. Even though I haven't really done it too much, but that's a pretty big change. I think I had it at first like that. I changed it back again. I mean, these things, because of how I have it and the screws, I mean, I could adjust those, not too hard. I could adjust anything on here. Oh, by the way, I know I'm going completely off track, but I wanted to show you something else I've unearthed, which is pretty cool. You've seen my Amiibo collection before, but now look at that. Rob the Robot, Mr. Game & Watch, and Sephiroth. I changed some things up here. I think I had Toon Link and Rosalina. When these things were super huge, Toon Link, Rosalina, all these things were, these figures, these amiibos were, oh, what is going on here? I don't know what that was, but that was really odd. But nevertheless, we're back. I didn't tighten the screws. It doesn't matter. These things are super rare, blah, blah, blah. Getting sold by tons of resellers, a bunch of money, da, da, da. I don't like Toon Link. I don't mind Wind Waker. I've developed a different respect for the game. I think I got to play it over again. It'd be a great game to play unless I play some video games. A long one, but maybe I cut it up. You know, we got lots of things we want to get to. This is my way of being creative, being free in that creative space, and having some damn fun. Especially you folks who maybe need some time from your day to escape. We create words on this channel. Escape the perils and the bullshit of the real world. And this is the real world too, but it's a more confined, constricted space that you can just have fun, just reflect on things, but don't get too lost, because you get lost in the past. Your present becomes none. Your future, there is none. Look at that. What a rhyme. Nevertheless, those things are super expensive. I got it on a whim. Angelina, whatever her name is, said Rosalina. Doesn't really do it for me, so I kind of just put it away. I'll keep it. You know, it's something cool. It's great to be able to hunt for these figures and have fun. I just don't typically see a lot of them that interest me. The last one I really, really, really want, unless I'm really catching my eyes, is an actual adult Link. I saw a Twilight Princess out in the wild before, not in the wild, but in like a game store or something. Didn't pull the trigger on it again. These things are getting really expensive, even though they're not, there isn't a huge market for it, but there is to some of them, and you know, I really do enjoy them. I really do appreciate them. I like how they hang up. They're nice, great in size, just like, you know, these figures right here, you know, with the wrestling figures, you know, compared to, we'll say these guys, they're a tad bit bigger, a little harder to hang up, but, you know, then again, you know, I figure out ways to hang up all kinds of things, but it's just more easier for me. I could flip these, you know, over here to over here and put just amiibos over here. I could do a lot of different things depending on what my mood is. That's why I like the shelving. That's why I like the way I have it set up before, as I was trying to get to that point. And like I said, in all the other game room tours, you'll see not of this location, of previous residences I owned. I just kind of set it up, one and done. I need to get a 10-foot ladder in, like in some places it was just a little smaller. The house I originally moved in down in the great state of Florida, absolutely loved the room. I wish it was a little bit bigger. As a matter of fact, let's just call it for what it is. We're going to have some fun today. If I could have my dream game room, it wouldn't just be one. It would probably be 3 or 4 rooms, which is insane, right? Because there's people living with you. In my situation, I have a family, I have dogs, everything like that. So clearly that's not something that we can do. But if I was to have a dream, just to take a moment, just to be like, what would be an awesome dream? A media room with physical media of movies, posters, old TVs, everything, craziness. Video game room, all decked out, all CRTs, maybe some of these new ones, and just dedicated to video games. And then the 4th room would be action figures, and it would be crazy. Maybe I could have a whole, let's get a whole house of absolute nonsense and chaos. I'm pretty sure the divorce letter would come faster than you believe. What'd you do today? Just bought a new house. How'd you do that? Well, you know, I just figured it out. And, oh, what's in it? Oh, it's not for anybody. It's for me. Oh, okay. Bye-bye. That's probably how that conversation would go. As you could probably guess, it's probably the right way we should handle it, right? Because it's a little out there. But again, if we had disposable income like that, still paying the bills, just wanted to do something new. Just thought that came across my mind. But nothing really different over here. This Closet of Doom certainly has a story with it for sure. And I'll get to it about the things that you forget because you collect so much stuff. You can't remember certain things are. Drives me nuts. I finally found what I was looking for. I went through this closet, and you, if you've been here long enough, yeah, I know, I got Lucky Charms there. Don't ask, it's a long story. Put in where the rest of the cereal is. Nope, not today. Gotta be in here. My Lucky Charms. It's me Lucky Charms. That closet has been seen before, you know, that it's had gone through different iterations, whether it's back when I was in Mass, my first place in Florida was a complete disaster. It's a little more organized. Now it's a little more disorganized, and we'll get to that. But in order to keep my Blu-ray collection not falling down and not all over the place, I'll just go over this now. The hell with it. I was looking for the Terminator on Blu-ray. I saw it was recently released on 4K. And here goes another rabbit hole. Here goes another conversation. Again, we'll get to where we're getting to. I swear. Just give me time. Physical media is so hard to find out in like regular stores. Like obviously there's big box retailers like Targets and Best Buys do no longer do physical media. That didn't sound good. Hopefully that's taken care of. Hopefully it wasn't something bad that broke. All kinds of crazy things happen when you have 5 dogs, 2 kids. Anyway. I didn't do it. I wasn't here. Proof is here. Anyway, so physical media is extremely hard to come across. I've obviously ordered off of eBay plenty of times. You all know that. I have a series dedicated to it. And seeing, if I've got a good thing or a bad thing. Not really an Amazon person. A lot of different reasons for that. I have probably once or twice, but it's really hard for me to do that. Or maybe even once. Or maybe I had somebody do it because I couldn't do it myself. Nevertheless, it's a whole different topic. Again, nothing against that company. It's not what we're doing here. And it's not trying to make it. It's just my preference. I like the fact of walking into a store and picking up Saved by the Bell. It's just who I am. Can I order something online? Eventually we all have to get used to that physical media aspect's gone away, but nevertheless, we just went like 30 different directions, so we're going to try to zone in, try to make this a little easier. So, in order to get my Blu-ray collection not to fall over, I put Blu-rays, and I'm not going to open this up because it's a complete train wreck now. I put Blu-rays up there. And realized I was looking for the Terminator. I wanted the Terminator because I think I just said this. Terminator on 4K. I was like, wow, looks really cool. The second one, I've heard mixed reviews on. I really wanted to watch it, and I am furiously, and I mean furiously, I know I've had this movie. I have 2 apps on my phone from CLZ. I think something happened where I don't have them anymore, or like a payment, or I don't know what it was, but all my shit's gone. So now I'm sitting here, and that is a way to catalog your movies. I think there's a record one. I'm interested in that. Comics. Wish there was an action figure one. That'd be a pretty interesting one. Fluctuating prices, of course, with everything in price charting is what it goes off of. I think typically, but there's one for video games. All my stuff's like pretty much gone. There's only like base stuff there, like stuff I saved at one point or uploaded. So I don't know what happened, but I'm sitting there going through my phone like a psychopath. And I can't find the Terminator. Now, why did I want to watch Terminator? Well, I was on social media, as we all do a lot, I'm sure. Some of us may not. Good for you. It's awesome. Too much social media can crush you. This kind of social media, in my opinion, just to give you a different perspective, have some fun, hang out, and maybe some off time, maybe not, whatever. Going way off the tracks, as usual. I could do that because I'm doing this very spontaneous. I was just like, time to do a video. Why? Because I want to. That's why. I could not find the Terminator. I went through this closet that you've all seen many times. 3 times. I took everything out, looked at every crevice. It's crazy, right? How do you not have the Terminator? Terminator is such an awesome movie. I'm a huge fan of the franchise. And the last couple of them have been a little weird. Salvation? I don't know. Terminator 3? I have a new appreciation for it because of TikTok. I've seen so much Terminator 3 clips, so I was like, I really need to give that movie another chance. And I can't find it. Nevertheless, I don't care. It's fine. I'll get it at some point. Not even that good of a movie. Rise of the Machines? Whatever. But for whatever reason, I want to watch it again. I finally found it, and it was up top. I went through this 3 times. I completely forgot that I was putting movies up above, because I usually just have random stuff, some boxed, consoles or boxes for consoles or whatever. I couldn't remember. So it sucks for me. Wasted time. Sometimes you just gotta look up and keep life into perspective. I didn't do that. That's the unfortunate part of collecting and getting so many rabbit holes. The whole point of that long, drawn out essay to you. I could have wrote a doctorate. Could have wrote a book. I could have and wrote a constitution out at this point for how long I spent on it, but nevertheless, it does mean something. You don't have the things to catalog your, whatever that is, Excel sheets. I've seen people do all kinds of stuff. I prefer the CLZ Games app. It's not a sponsor, it's nothing weird like that. It's just what I prefer, and then for it to go away, I got to figure that out. But the one thing I am happy about is I found the movie 1 and 2. After I configure all that again, I can go through all these things and catalog every single thing again. Now, why is that fun? I don't know. I'm a person of organization, even though some things in this room may suggest otherwise. I like a little bit of chaos as well. I'm a very complicated human being when it comes to certain things. And, I'm no better or worse than anybody else. But, hey, what are you going to do? I love cataloging. When I remember, and just to get into that conversation again, I promise we'll get to what we were trying to get to here. I remember when, in 2020, in March, when my mom passed away. And then again, this is the real sad part of the video, right? I'm not trying to do this intentionally, but it is a part of who I am. It's something that happened, and it took a very long time to try to figure out how to make any sense of anything at that point. And again, I don't want to get too much into it. I've done very in-depth thoughts on how that affected me and what I want to do myself. But the only thing that came out of that, other than, acceptance and all the other stuff that we have to go through, and grief and sorrow and everything like that, was I found this app, and I needed something to keep my mind just for like an hour a day, because I had to take some time off, obviously, and yeah, I just really don't want to think about it, but I just brought up the app, so I just wanted to explain it. I got to go through everything and focus that unknown energy that I really just can't explain till you've been through a severe loss like that. There are so many different things that go through your body, through your mind, through your energy, through your soul, whatever you want to call it. It's just, everything just seems different. And that really grounded me, because I love organization, and I love not having to think of do I have this a double or whatever. And I was like, this is such a win-win. Take some time away, other than what other things I had to do at the time. Just take an hour or two out of my day and catalog the crap out of everything. Just look through it, see what I want, what I don't want. Maybe this stuff I wanted to get rid of, doubles, whatever. And it helped me a lot when I was hitting the thrifts pretty hard. It helped me a lot when, I was going through anything else or looking for stuff in the wild. It was great. Now that it's not there, I guess I got to try to do it all over again. Shucks. Well, joke's not on me. Joke's on that, because I actually enjoy that. But nevertheless, that's why I like the cataloging. Completely random. We're going to do this real quick. Again, not really any huge updates. Is that a Mr. Clean? I do have a Mr. Clean. Why is Mr. Clean there? Why not? So, no huge updates through here, but again, if this is your first time, just a quick glimpse. Got a ton of posters and stuff. Got my giant CRT. How could you not, with, what's going on? Got some cool stuff along here. There's some trinkets and stuff. Nothing crazy. This is part of the update right here, though. Yeah, I know. Very childish. The bird. I get it. I had no other place to put it. Huge fan of 90s rap, gangster rap. That's why you got that death row right there. Are those real? I think the silver's real. I think the gold is plated, and it was from someplace in Boston. I can't remember. And this was, oh my God, I would say in the late 90s. 98 maybe, 97, I'm not sure, but, I went with my grandmother, and I was obsessed. Every time we saw these things, some sort of, I think it was like an expo or a place, like a flea market, but it wasn't a flea market, but I saw these, and I begged and begged and begged her to grab these. Again, it could have been earlier, but I think those would probably be readily available in 96, 97. They're just kind of everywhere, and that's where I got those too. So, and of course the Ducks, you can't go wrong with that. No real updates through here. This one right here is a pretty simple update. I'm just going to put this over here to make my life just a tad bit easier. I got that on clearance. That's pretty cool. Never really had a nice little fleece blanket like this. Is that what you call it? A throw. Some good old shamrocks. Good old St. Patrick's Day has passed. And I don't know if there's anything else I can think of over here. Oh, we'll get to it now. This is the meat and potatoes. I swear I'll get you through this. Not too long, though. Pretty good. I'm doing pretty good for me. Oh, wait a minute. Whoa. What the hell's going on here? Haha. That's the main part of the video. This is something I worked on again for about a day and a half, 2 days. Usually it takes about a day to do this. And I don't know if you're like this, but when I set my sights on something and I'm in that right mood, I'm doing it. I don't care. No sleep. And it's funny because as I've hit my 40s, because I'm 41 now, that doesn't come too often. I get tired more frequently. I still get that fire, and I'm glad that I still have it. And hopefully the day doesn't come where I'm like, just done. I mean, I'm sure it will. I'm sure I'll be like, I just don't have the energy. I'll do it in like a week. A day will turn into 2 days, a week, whatever, but hopefully not. But though it's gone, I removed it, and I'll show you where I put it after. Now, this is something I haven't really shown off too often. This right here, a little bit of magazines, some books and stuff like that. We've seen these before. Now I can access high games a lot easier. That was really the main reason. I was irritated because I wanted to access something over here for PlayStation 2, which, remember, when the shelf was here, a little difficult. Couldn't get to it. I had to squeeze in, suck it in, baby, suck it in. I didn't want to do that anymore. Super irritating. So I decided to take it down. And now you can actually see all the Nightmare on Elm Street posters. Before you couldn't. And again, not a huge deal. Those are just kind of some background noise. But again, it brought something cool and creative. So how do I start this? I'm going to leave the nonsense. I have a straight up nonsense corner again. I'm pretty excited about that. I wish I had a whole room of nonsense. That's the other rooms, 5 rooms. Nonsense. Everywhere. Flooded. Shelves. Like chaos. No arithmetic. No geometry that makes sense. Crazy upside down room. Yeah, that's what it is. I know. I get it. Here it is. So I talk about the Sega CD an awful lot. It is my favorite game collection and system to collect for. I don't have very many more titles that I do want. I just have the real heavy hitters, the Keo Flying Squadron, a few others that I can't think of right now off the top of my head. Keo Flying Squadron is probably the heavy hitter. Time Girl, our gal. Willie Beamish, which isn't a huge hit. I think there's a few others. I just can't think of them because I got Snatcher. I don't have many other ones, but I mean, if I had it my way, I'd have the entire collection. But we'll get there at some point. Sega CD means a lot to me. This isn't my original box. It's pretty beat up. Not gonna lie, I bought it some time ago, a couple of years ago, maybe 5 years ago. I can't remember now. Maybe it was 6. But I always wanted that box, and for some reason mine went bye-bye, and I can't remember how it happened. But now I got it, and there's an extra Sega CD in there as well, because I have, my regular Sega CD over there. So I always have a backup. Mine's been pretty good. Oh, another random thing with Sega CD. I don't have it out. I have the box for it. So I got my Sega CD backup to work. Now, what in good God's name is this? Well, when you used to save on an actual system, you needed some backup. Saturn does it, and I think Dreamcast did it as well. And of course, PlayStation with memory cards. But this is just a giant cart that goes in to the Sega CD, and you could save additional things. It gives you additional memory, like a lot, because the Sega CD does not have a lot of memory internally. Because that's how, once we got to that point, Super Nintendo didn't have that. Sometimes, like with Legend of Zelda, certain games would have a battery backup, like really like primitive stuff. When you think about it, Sega CD is the first one you could actually save games on the hard drive of the Sega CD. But nevertheless, it's pretty cool. So I got that to work. And then I wanted to show off a little bit of Night Trap. So you got my Night Trap stuff out here. This right here is something I've had since I was a very young person. That is a actually released, officially released, I'm sorry, cassette player for Nintendo. It's called Cassette Boy. Got some Care Bears love, didn't have much of that going on. This looked a lot different before, so this is the first time. You got to let me know, or if you've been here before, what you think of this. Is it cool? Did I do a good job? Got some things on here. I wanted to have the pins out for the World Championships NES edition that came out not too long ago. I didn't. That's some cool stuff going on through here. Buddy Christ finally gets his... you can actually see him, because I always have him like partially covered or, something like that. But now I don't have to worry about it anymore. Now you can see him in all his glory. If you don't know where it's from, there you go. How could you say no? Who's your buddy? Hell yeah. This right here is something that, happy accident. Got some VHSs. Why do I have Shrek here? Because it's one of those big giant VHS. I'll move this out of the way so you can see this. We've got some other cool things here too. We'll get to that in a sec. There's a collectibles video for N64 and Final Fantasy, a bunch of stuff. VHS sealed. Why do I have it? Because I like VHS. It's video game related. And then the Shrek. Why is the Shrek there? So that's the point I moved that for. Big giant boxed VHSs. It's probably one of the last ones I remember. Silent Night, Deadly Night had it in the 80s. A ton of horror movies had it. That's one of the last ones I remember seeing. So just a representation of VHS, because I'm a huge collector of physical media. Love physical media. Of course, you got some things right here. I moved the turtles over here. That's the NECA collection of all 4 turtles. This was a happy accident. I put it here, trying to put it on here. It stayed. The Death Star floats. That's a squishy Death Star. I don't have a really big one. Did they ever release the Death Star as a Star Wars vehicle / playset? I don't remember. I'm going to have to look into it, but let me know if you know. It's a pretty good question. Original VHS Star Wars trilogy. I would love to get it on Laserdisc. That is an Ecto Cooler. Got the Joker here. Nothing that you haven't seen before. And then this right here, something I'm real happy about. The shelving is not sagging. That is a lot of weight. If you remember from my first video game tour room or game room tour, when I first got here, I had shelving in there that was wired shelving, and I didn't distribute the weight properly, or I finally met my match and I could not put as much weight as I did on there. It broke. I was a little worried about this, but it's staying good, and I don't see any sagging yet, but I just did it within the last few days, so we'll see. I wanted to get a better representation of my VHS collection. Unfortunately, with doing that, a lot of the VHSs I had over here and over here are now behind the horror, which, it's okay. When I want to do a full game room tour, I want to focus on something, or there's a specific reason, I can just move some of the stuff. And again, I've moved a lot of the stuff I kind of had hanging around. This right here is a good one. This right here, what is that? That is my first. No, sorry. Is it my first? I don't think it was my first. It's probably my second or third that I ever bought off eBay when I was a very young person. The infancy of the internet. Had to ask Mom for the card and to get it. It's Halloween 6, Curse of Michael Myers. Producer's cut. That's how I used to have to get them back in the day. Bootleg. Yep. Now they got it on. Now they got it on that. And beautiful, beautiful Blu-ray. Looks great. I also have a 4K, I think, of it out as well. Not really interested. I think that if there's anything that's Laserdisc I'm going after for horror, at least most of it, unless it's VHS that I don't have it. But I like that, you have a better representation of horror, VHS, what it means to me. Again, it's just a change. Ton of movies in here. A lot of them are very hard to find. Anything with series. You get the Nightmares, get the Child's Play. I do wish I had the original for that Child's Play. I do not. The other ones I do. That's okay. Maybe we'll get it at some point. The Halloweens. None of them are sealed. Some of them just had the plastic on it. Of course, the Friday the 13th. Can't go wrong with that. I do like the way this looks better than before. And why do I have so many Halloweens? Well, because I'm crazy about Halloween. I'll show you why with this one. This one was... had scenes in it. It's the first time it was available. There's a keychain in there as well, a shirt, and some other stuff. That's kind of a difficult one to find. Out of print, obviously, it's VHS. But this one, I like it because it's lenticular. Yep. That is awesome. Is there any huge difference in it? There's a full frame and a widescreen version. I have the full frame one. There's no huge difference. I just like things like that. It's pretty cool. Just wanted to show that off. Yeah, there's that head. That head. I can't lie to you. That thing has been driving me nuts every time you move a certain place. Even over here, it's the only place where it hasn't dropped. And I like it because it's weird looking. Also, you have a shark in your game room? I do. Now, that's really the main changes of the game room. And then we've got a few more right here. Some of the stuff was in the corner. Some of it was already in there. This is the ultimate nonsense corner shelf. I don't know what the hell you're going to call it. But why is this here? Why is certain... Is that messed up? Sorry, I had to look at it. I don't know, because I like this stuff. I think it's cool. Ruffles the Clown. I found that for just a few bucks. It's actually a pretty expensive porcelain doll, I guess you would call it a doll. I don't know what the proper word is for it, but it's porcelain. It's a statue. Bust. No, bust is small. I don't know, but nevertheless, that's pretty cool. Can't forget, in case you forgot, help Smokey prevent forest fires. Where now it's, if it even exists, I think Smokey is a new term. Help Smokey prevent wildfires. I have no interest in that. That's 80s right there. I found that pin somewhere and I don't remember where. I could have had it. I can't remember. But pretty cool stuff here. Not going to go too in depth. You've seen these things before. I can interchange any of these things. Got the snake eyes there. Thumbs up. That's not an original. That's, of course, a reproduction. And then this guy, I finally, with the crane figure from the 90s, if you don't have that, the cover, which happens to be there, that figure is about $100-something. Crazy, right? Or the antenna. That's usually what breaks down on these things for whatever reason. I've had this thing since the early 90s. I think it was 91, 92. I can't remember. It's been so long. I got a hat there. Anybody know where that hat belongs to? I'll give you some time. You're probably not going to get it. But let's go up here real quick. What is that? That is a Jax figure. That's a Jax figure. That's a Jax figure. Sorry. So what do those all have in common? That hat belongs to Flush Funk. I've had it forever. I had it on the Duck. Now I have it on Crane because he doesn't have his antenna and it drives me insanely mad. But maybe they'll re-release Crane. I would love to get that. You know what I'd really love? I will pay a good amount of money for it. Technodrome, Turtles playset, and a Crane. And the wagon. The turtle van. Sorry. That would be pretty awesome. That's also super expensive. So maybe someday. But, oh well. Always thinking of some ways to spend more money. So, again, I got some things. We've seen these things here before. Just in different views. Not going to go over it. Can't pass up on the brass knucks. And then, of course, we've got the... I had to get these guys in here somehow. I love the Venom. I love the Spider-Man. I'm not huge, big fans of those. I got the... I don't know what's going on out there, but nevertheless, it's really... I gotta stop saying that, nevertheless. I don't know, it's such an easy thing. It just comes off the tongue. Irregardless. That's not a word either, whatever. I don't care. I'm spazzy today. I just think it's cool. I like the set. I'm glad that I have these guys out. I had them in the package, and then something happened. They fell... Didn't realize it. And crunch, blasphemy on all mint-on card collectors. I stepped on them. There's something that's been released since, I think, 2020. A little, reproduction toy line. Just like, as you can clearly see, they've been doing a lot of that. Which is okay. I think it's cool. As long as it doesn't confuse people. You don't pay prices for vintage when it's reproduction. That's my 2 cents on it. But you gotta be keen. You really gotta be keen with that stuff. But it's okay, cool. I said, you know what? I don't have any Batman or Superman really representation. Now I've got it. I like it. Pretty cool stuff. The 3 pigs. Why? because it's cool. My original, when I was a very young person, as you can see the chew marks on crap, of the Stay Puft. I don't have my Slimer. The Slimer I did have. I lost. I didn't have his tail. It absolutely drove me batshit. Just like with my Ed 209. I had the top, the legs missing. I had the Slimer, the tail was missing. Drives me nuts. I know where it ended up, and I think I've talked about it in another video. But last thing I do want to show you before we get to the other section of the house, which I'll have to make a cut, and we'll go back into it. I removed most of the figures. And why is that? It was time. It was time to do it. I don't really have much out here. I mean, I got a little mutagen thing that doesn't... It's from the newer release Turtle series in the last 2 years. I have no interest in that, but I do like a canister of ooze. I'd like a giant canister of that, like huge, and I think there is one that NECA released. But of course, like everything you can't find, it's super expensive. If I'm right, let me know. If not, whatever. But yeah, I just wanted some better representation. Not have to move things when I want to try to pull something out. Or, hey, listen, I want to show you what a complete copy of Super Mario Bros. 2 looks like. Why? I don't know. Have you ever seen one? You have now. Just cool things like that. And it's just time. You know, the great thing about any game room, any spot that you have that's just kind of your spot, as I try to move as far back as I can because I really think that looks awesome. Tell me that doesn't look awesome. I think that looks pretty damn cool. Great thing about these type of rooms, man caves, game rooms, room-a-dooms, money pits, whatever you want to call them, you can change things out very easily. And as I've gone over the years of the ways that I display things, the way that I utilize the rooms, whether they've gone small or big or long or whatever, it's just great. I just love doing it. So that's the room update. I got one more thing to show you and I'll let you out of here. We're getting a little long. I didn't want it to be super long. But that's just how it is for these tours. Can't stay on track. So I'll show you this real quick. Just because why not? No changes. But who doesn't want to look at horror freshness? Toker and Razor. That's not horror freshness. That was just extremely hard to find. Pretty cool stuff. Can't go wrong. Got some great things up here. Love my horror collection. A few more figures I want to get. Very few. But really expensive. That one would have been a real pain. And there's a bunch of others in here that are super, super stupidly expensive. That I fortunately don't have to worry about. But at some point in time, you never know. We'll find it. But let's get to the last part of the update. And then I'll let you go. And we'll reconvene in here. That's what we'll do. Reconvene right here. I'll do my normal spiel. Get you out of here. And that's the end. That's a cut. Let's go. Sega CD. Why? Because it's awesome. I don't know about that, though. Alright. This is the last part I wanted to show you. I finally am able to have my movies readily available. Because I like to watch movies when I sleep. Or maybe if I'm just not doing something. Here it is. This is what we use the space for. Pretty cool stuff. Maybe some stuff I've never shown off before. Some 4Ks. Pretty happy about those. Try to do this as easy as possible. Not bad. Good collection. Oh, there it is. The Terminator. I told you I found it. Pretty good stuff here. Got a lot of movies I want to watch. I'm glad to be able to have that ability now to do it without, searching through 20,000 things. But yeah, got some Blu-rays here as well. Some things that interested me. So there we go. What we got here? What else we got here? Exorcist. A whole bunch of movies. There's RoboCop 2 that's on 4K. I want to get that eventually. Got some of the Avengers movies, which I think are pretty cool. I don't have all of them, but those are the ones I really, really wanted. And then, just got some cool stuff here. Some stuff I haven't even opened up yet. which is the worst part. I wanted to see the sequel to the fourth installment of the Matrix series and look at that yet. And just got some DVDs here. Just some ones that I occasionally want to watch, or just some weird things that I like just seeing and going, that's a pretty odd movie. And I finally got the Gremlins and Gremlins 2 that I've been hunting down. And then I was looking for Hatchet 3. I found it up in that part of the closet as well. So pretty cool stuff. Back to the game room we go. All right. And we are back for the ending, the recap. Very spontaneous video. I didn't want it to be as long as it's turned out to be. But there's always a reason why. I need to know from you folks what you thought of my changes. Did you think they were good? Were they a waste of time? I didn't know you had that in your collection, kind of thing. Maybe something you do differently. Always appreciate the comments down below. Great conversations that show the love and appreciation of physical media, collecting, or just getting away from the normal BS. So, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. We keep bouncing in the 70s, 270s, I think 280s. I think it's just been fluctuating as usual. Not a huge deal, but if you like what you see, and we've got plenty of other content, please, if you could, if you want to, subscribe. Give me the thumbs up. Plenty of things that I've shown off and why I like the thumbs up. I don't know why, but that shows some interest in the video and shows that I did a pretty good job or whatever, or you had some fun. So, if you like what you see, subscribe, thumbs up, all that other happy horse shit. We've got many other series on this channel. I am all over the place as I was in this video. Thrift time and finds. We go to the thrift. You know how it goes. eBay time and buys. Don't do that too often. Revisited. Still have a few of those I might want to review, or make rather. But we look at some stuff we bought on the E of the Bay a long time ago. See if your boy here got duped. Because it happens every once in a while. Or Castlevania, for example. Great lot. Got it for a good price. Fighting, kicking, screaming. We were able to close the deal on it. Didn't get duped completely, except for the manuals. They were copies, which was clearly shown. So that's on me. But the box is legitimate. The games, legitimate. And then, of course, we end up getting them, the instruction manuals. That makes something complete in box. Let's not even get into it. We're in an outro. Also have some Let's Play some video games. Down the rabbit hole we go. That one specifically will target on a certain part of my collection. Plenty of parts, plenty of rabbit holes to jump down. As you can see, I have way too many. Or maybe I don't have enough. Depends. You let me know what you think of that statement. I think there's never enough rabbit holes to jump down. What can I say? I'm a fan of Alice in Wonderland and that whole backstory around that. The Chazari cat. Yeah, probably didn't say that right. Just a weird movie. I don't know about the live action one, but again, spaz moment. What are you going to do? And that's pretty much it. Other ways that you can reach the channel, if you so want to. Facebook at Jason's House of Fun Video Games. We'll post the videos up there, maybe post a few other things, not too often, but I do get into some great conversations, as you cannot do on here. Pictures of your game room, pictures of your stuff found in the thrift, pictures of stuff you found in the trash, pictures of things that hit you in the head off the sky. And it was a Nintendo World Championship Gold Edition, worth $1 million. Yes, that's a reference to good old Austin Powers. Would that ever happen? Probably not. How upset would I be? Something like that fell from the sky and hit me in the head. These are things that we ponder in life. These are important potentials that we have to investigate on what if. I don't know if I'd be upset at the fact that probably wouldn't be here with it anymore because anything falls from the sky, the whole science thing of, speed and impact and, probably wouldn't be a good thing. Or would I be more upset that the holy grail of collecting one of them was no longer with us because it hit me on the top of the dome? I don't know where I was going with that, but it just sounded funny. Sort of. Nevertheless, plenty of things for you folks to do on here. Last part I will mention is I'm on TikTok. Jason Sauce Fun Video Games. Got some pretty good traction on there. Got some great conversations on there as well. I'm very new to it. I do other things on the TikTok other than just promoting the channel. It's weird things, just another way for me to be creative in a very constricted, stressful way for me. Because most of my videos are long. I put it on purpose to do 15 seconds. It's amazing. Like some of these videos I've come up with don't really have like, you know, any sort of sentimental meaning to hear or anything we talk about. But people like them, they're pretty cool. And it's just another way to be creative. Because being creative, I feel much more better than I do feeling not so creative. Just who I am as a person. Maybe spreading some joy or giving you a moment to step away, whatever it is. A long-winded intro, outro, everything in between. Everything's long-winded. What are we going to do? Oh, if you don't like it, I guess you're not going to come back. What am I going to do? It is what it is, right? Also on Twitter, Jason Sauce Fun and Video Games. Again, not a whole lot of traction on there, just like the Snapchat I had at one point. It's okay. It's not a huge deal. It is what it is. Like the Facebook, like the TikTok. Never thought I'd say that, but that's just a happy accident that happened. That's it. That's all I got. If you got anything for me, you know what to do. You know how to reach me. You know where to leave it. This is Jason Chase, House of Fun and Video Games. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Hope you enjoy your week. The work week is certainly upon us. I'm probably not going to comment on what day it is because I just happen to upload things at strange times. And it's okay, it's cool. But eventually we'll get to the weekend. We'll have some fun. And your boy here, I believe, is not working the weekend. Fantastic. Hope to see you folks soon. Plenty more content coming down. It just might happen to be a new series where we delve even deeper into what these pieces of my room mean to me. Even deeper than down the rabbit hole. It's more just a overview of the collection. Getting a great conversation about one thing specific and not be all spazzy and jumping all over the place, which is fine. But maybe I'd like to do that. We also do, again, all over the place here. We also dabbled in movie reviews. Very lightly dipping the toe in the water. Had some fun with it. Am I going to continue it? I don't know. I think so. If you liked it, let me know. Anything you like, let me know. Let me know, let me know, let me know. And that's it. That's all I got. That's a wrap. That's a riggedy wrap. How do we properly end this video? 2 ways. Fun fact. This is the best part of this year. I love Cadbury cream eggs. Caramel ones are awful. I don't care what any of you say. I'm going to eat one of these right after I'm done with this. And when the time for Easter is over, I have to wait a whole nother year to eat these. I think I stockpiled them once. Didn't end up pretty well. They get expired. They become expired very quickly. Second thing, one that I didn't really show off. Cupcake. Why is that? I got a thing for cupcakes. I got a cupcake over there you probably saw. And I got this big one here. It's supposed to be like a gift that goes on a tree for Christmas or holiday or whatever the hell you want to call it. I just like cupcakes. And this one looks cool. And if this drops, I'll be very upset. That's all I got. See you folks soon. Excuse me while I enjoy one of my Cadbury cream eggs. Sayonara.